do, I'm just going to walk you through what we've done through the building, through the library, and then up to the Museum and Art Gallery. And what I'll talk about is what we've done, what we haven't, why we haven't done it, what we hope to do, and when, what's going to happen next. And it is a little bit fluid. This really is a work in progress. So we've still got another day before we open, so we've still got temporary signage and all sorts of things to do, but I thought I'd just start out here. The front of this building is lovely, but it's lost its personality over the years inside, where successive changes have been made, and one of the main things we wanted to do is restore original features where we found them and bring some of the personality back. That's an ongoing process, and more will happen on that in the future, but bringing the front windows back in, at least on this side, was one of the things we wanted to do. This all started because we were going to do building work on the library to open up more of the building to the public. And as part of that, we knew we got asbestos in that part of the building because it was built in the 1960s. So having asbestos there wasn't a surprise, but you have to test it when you're going to do any building work, and then they found it had deteriorated more than they thought it might, so it had to be removed, which was a challenge and an opportunity, because it meant we were closed longer than we wanted to be, but it also meant that we actually got more building work done than we originally planned to do. So if I show you around, and we'll show you the bits, there are very specific bits that we have done, bits that we haven't done, because they're going to be done in the next phase, and because we wanted to save money for that, and then we've got plans of what we want to do next. This is the original Victorian library that they built in 1874, and you can see it doesn't look very Victorian. And that is because in early 60s they added in an extra floor, and they cut out all the light, and they cut out all the original features, and they made it very impressive. It is still a windowless room, but it's not nearly as oppressive as it was. Thanks to the asbestos, we had to rip out all the ceilings and floors and lots of walls, and we were able to raise the head height of the room by about a foot and put in new lighting, which makes quite a difference. Everything through here is on wheels. Everything is on wheels and can be moved, including the counter. So we can either use it as a bar, so if we want to change it around, or we want to use events in here, it's all movable. We've introduced self-service kiosks, as we have in our other libraries, so people will be able to issue and return books themselves, which some people like, some don't. We're still going to have real people here helping you, but it reduces the queues, and the kids love it.
Extreme animals, human body.
In the next phase, we've got 2 months where the museum is open. I'll take you up there afterwards, and then unfortunately upstairs is going to have to close again for a little while we do all the roof, and things like the motor and that light there has to be done, so we've got to put scaffolding all the way through. What we have been able to do in this area here is finally give you decent public toilets. Hurrah! With baby changing facilities, so we have 2 unisex accessible toilets. Originally, this was a full height room, lots of light. You had 4 windows on that wall. You had at least 1 window on that wall. We know there was a window on that wall because it's still there. And I'm not suggesting you take your life in your hands, but if you want to, go to the street behind us into the car park next door. There is a lovely Gothic church window there. Still got stained glass window in the Orioles, and one of the things we want to do in the phase beyond this phase, and maybe the one before that, is open up that window. So this is what would have been an area that no one would have ever seen, because this would have been the top half of the full height Victorian room. So we didn't know any of these fancy corbels were still here. We didn't know we had these big Titanic type beams. And nobody would have been able to get as close to this. So in some ways, there is an opportunity there. As I said, we've got permission to come through that door. That side, there were originally 4 windows. You can see the 2 on the outside have gone when they did the frankly lovely extension. Can I ask you just to come in this way? I'm just a bit worried about those. This is where I hand you. That's my bit done. Yeah. If anybody wants to come ask me questions, please do. I'll hand over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just happened to be here, but there we are. No, that's lovely. Anyway, yes, as you can see, there's no changes up here at the moment, and we're not really planning on any at the moment. But what we have got is a brand new exhibition in the art gallery of the Brian Hatton exhibition, the painting. So we're going to go on into there. But the building here, as you know, is the museum facility. Very small for what we have in the museum collections. It's a very small percentage of what we actually hold at the resource centre. But it does kind of give you a flavour of the county's history and its history, the objects we have and everything that represents sort of the history of the county, the culture, the nature, geology, Tudors and Stuarts. There's a little bit of everything here. Do have a look around. There's nothing new in here at the moment, as I say. We will be having something in a community display case, hopefully by Wednesday. So it's kind of a work in progress at the moment. And obviously we've got a bit more space around here, so we can also put extra things in this space. But again, it's all a work in progress. I'll take you on through to the Hatton exhibition, because that is something that we have managed to do for the opening. So do come on through and we'll have a look in here.
I think I'm doing them all the time. However,
what's the skin underneath the actual glass roof? It doesn't look like it's not glass, is it? This is it?
Yes, it is glass. Yes.
Why is it dark?
It's coated in. Well, actually, there's also a bit of dirt on the top, but I think it's coated in a UV filter or something like that.
But that is the top of the building.
Yes, that's
There's
right.
something
Yes,
beyond it,
but
isn't
beyond
there?
it, yes, you've
Another
actually got
glass.
the structure with it. Yes. To be honest, I think that is all glazed. Well, that part is.
This was what he did when he was 2 years and 2 months old. And this is one of the great things about Brian Hatton, is that his parents, and in particular his mother, valued the talent he was displaying from a young age and then found ways to support it. So that's figurative at 2 and 2 months. And then on the right, just to the right of it, is a self-portrait he did when he was 11. So in modern currency, in year 6, basically. So yeah. And that is outstanding. So this is a portrait Brian Hatton did called The Outcast, and we know who the sitter is here. The name escapes me at the moment. But if you look at her clothes, she's wearing a black, possibly velvet coat, a white silk scarf, and a blue underdress. And then if you come over here, this is a painting called Mrs. Olkins with the H dropped, and she's wearing the exact same outfit, but with the addition of a hat. So the question is it the same model, the same sitter? It looks like they wear the same earrings, they look like they have the same sort of eyes, but their gaze is different and the angle of the chin is different. But it's probably the same person. But until we have conclusive evidence, we can't say the sitter for The Outcast is the model for Mrs. Olkins. Yeah.
And that's kind of interesting too.
Yes, now Brian Hatton went to Egypt twice. Once as the artist with an excavation led by Sir Flinders Petrie, and then a second time in World War I, and he died at Albertina, so that was his second and last trip to Egypt. But he loved, both in Herefordshire and in Egypt, he loves painting the locals. He loves painting the people who come from the land and are authentic to the land. If you're interested in any of the Brian Hatton talks, Robin Thorndike will be doing 2, and they're advertised on the desk out in the museum.